What's going on, everybody? Captain Justin Neighbor here. Hey, today I'm hoping to save you guys some money. I'm going to show you how to do your basic oil change on your Suzuki DF90, 80, 90. Here today I got my 90 horse. This is a 2019. We're just going to go ahead and do oil, filter, and I'm going to do it the old school way, where I'm actually going to drain the oil from the drain plug and not suck it out through the dipstick tube. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Let's get into it. Alright, before we dive in, I'm going to show you guys the few things you need. I strongly recommend going with the factory oil, especially if you're under warranty still. Keep your receipts when you buy that stuff, and that way you'll maintain your warranty. So we got the factory oil, we got the factory filter, and then that's the factory gear oil. We got an oil wrench to get your filter off. That is your Allen key for your drain plug for the crankcase oil. That comes with the motor and your little tool pack. And then always replace the drain plug gasket. So just a few things you need there. Pretty simple. First thing I do is go ahead and pop off my fill plug where you actually put your oil back in. And with your filter, what I like to do, because sometimes they like to leak a little oil out, I just take a rag, stuff it down in here, basically just to catch that oil. Filter wrench, get that guy on there like that, just twist that guy off there. This doesn't need to be on there super tight, nice and snug, it doesn't leak. Keep my hands all the way. Go ahead and crack that loose. And this is super easy, guys. I'm talking, if you're confident in changing the oil in your car, it is pretty much identical on your outboard. All right, there's our filter. Toss that guy down there. New one ready. Grab your new filter, make sure you get that plastic off there. I shouldn't have to say that, but we're gonna say it anyways. And go ahead and slide that back in there. You can just tighten this by hand. Don't use the filter wrench to tighten it. Just go ahead and basically get it as tight as you can by hand until it stops. And you're good to go. And then you're going to clean up a little bit of a mess in there. So we're not going to film that, but there's filter already done. We're halfway done. So on the 90 horse, that's your oil drain plug right there, which is your Allen key. I'm not a huge fan of Allen keys, but that's just what they use. So my biggest tip is make sure that that Allen key is fully seated in there. And I just did the oil change on this few months back, so I know that's not over tight, but for some reason that's really tight. A little hack is go ahead and grab a wrench, doesn't really matter what size it is, and you can flip that on there. You can set it up like that, give yourself a little extra torque. Just really make sure that Allen key is fully seated in there. You do not want to round that out. But like I said, I already did this one and I didn't over tighten it, so boom. I'm just gonna pop it loose. Easy, easy. Make sure my bucket's lined up here. We'll let her rip. Like I said before, super, super easy to do this. That's it. Let it drain. Replace your gasket. Another little trick I'm going to show you is while the oil is draining, if you're unsure how much your engine takes or what viscosity it takes. We got, this one says 10W30 or 10W40. I'm in Florida, it's hot as heck, so I use 1040. And then your capacity is 4.2 quarts. If that sticker is missing, you can usually just call your local dealer, have them look up the capacity, make sure you get that correct. Don't guess on it. Don't skip this part. Always get a new gasket, that's your old gasket. New gasket, that's OEM. Put that back on there. Go ahead and put it back in. Cheap little part that could cost you your engine if it leaked. Make sure that's all the way seated. And go ahead and snug it down. Good to go. Alright, after your filter's tight, your drain plug's tight, your drain plug gasket's replaced, you're ready for the fresh oil. That's the OEM oil. Put my funnel up here. Go ahead and carefully pour that in there. Now what I like to do, obviously my engine says it takes 4.2 quarts. Always double check it. I'll go ahead after I'm done doing this. I'm going to toss the ears on the motor, fire it up, let it warm up, turn it off, and then I'm going to actually physically check my dipstick, make sure everything's proper. You should always do that. And then once you've done this a couple times, you can do the oil change and filter on this motor in, I'd say, about 15-20 minutes max. It's super easy. Alright, so I went ahead and fired it up. I got up to operating temperature. I pulled my dipstick out. You can see you have the low mark and the high mark. You want to be right near that high mark, either on it or maybe just a hair below it. You don't want to be over it. So I already pulled it out, wiped off the excess oil. Go ahead and put it back in there. Pull it out, tip it sideways so the oil doesn't drip off of it. And you can see, so this thing will focus, I'm right on my full mark. So we are good to go. And that is it. Super easy. So if you guys liked the video, subscribe, give it a like. You know, I've always got all kinds of stuff on here, how-to videos, fishing stuff, adventures, whatnot. So give it a follow, give it a like. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it saved you some money. See ya.